Okay, Lowe's 2618, customer McAndrew. This is a log home, 35 to 40 years old. All the logs in this one are true log with chink, so there should not be any settling concerns or anything with the log home. But of course, we always have the beams and we have some ups and downs and things like this that we need to consider when we're doing it. I'm going to start with this kitchen over here on this left side. Call it a buffet, call it a extra storage. It is actually right near the back door and the refrigerator layout in this kitchen. So there is an outlet behind here. It's about 56 inches from the corner, and we're looking at doing about 42 inches of upper and lower cabinet here before the outlet. And again, outlets and plugs and stuff are real big in cabinets with or kitchens that have log walls because you can't move them. Okay, so this would be 42 inches or so of upper and lower base. It's up against a left-hand wall, and that's the extreme left-hand side of the room. Now, next thing I want to do is show you the upper layout of the cabinets. So you have an upper joist for the upstairs floor joists. Then you have a tie-in beam that goes all the way across the room, and you'll see this in the drawing, tie-in beam. That tie-in beam is 8 inches wide, 12 inches tall, and it's 83 inches to the bottom of that tie-in beam. Now, the actual floor joists up above, the floor joists have 93, let me double check that. I think it's 93 inches to the bottom where it's at. Yeah, cross beams are 92 and a half inches off the floor. So from the bottoms of this beam to the floor is 92 and a half. So we have the opportunity to put a 90-inch cabinet, a 36-inch upper cabinet in this. And the way that would work is that you would start with this beam, and you would take a 9-inch wall cabinet and you would center it on this beam, which would leave about a ½ inch past here, about a ½ inch past there. And then you would step up 6 inches to a 90-inch top height, which would be a 36-inch cabinet, and then this one would step up to a 36-inch. So just this one cabinet steps down under the beam, and you have the taller cabinets on either side. Now, right now, you've actually got a range hood here that's a free-hanging decorative range hood. But now when we start looking at some of the stuff we talked about, this could be a bridge, and then that bridge would actually be below that ceiling height of those beams, and it would also hide any of that electrical that's going on up there. So there's a way around this from having to have the decorative hood to actually having more cabinet space above these. Now, we're not set on the box here with the microwave. We did talk about a bridge and a microwave above the stove instead of that, and that way you can gain some cabinet space here to the left. I don't have a preliminary drawing with this. And then also called Stephen Pratt at the store. The customer is actually installing this themselves. This was sold as a measure only, so these will be the only design notes that you have from my company for this kitchen. Refrigerator is 36 inches, 70 inches tall, 34 inches deep. Standard refrigerator, standard range, 30-inch sliding range. That's going to be reused. Standard 24-inch dishwasher. Now, something to note here, you're going to see in the drawing that I have a 14-inch by 14-inch column in the center of this. This is very common in log homes that they have to take and put something in the corner like an air return. This is actually an air vent supply for upstairs. It's probably a 12-inch round vent tube that's in the corner. Now, they've built this in now where this is like 7 inches of just column that's not being used at all. There's not even access into that. And the backs of these cabinets have been shortened by 12 inches, and the back corner of the stone underneath has been cut off at a 45-degree angle, just because there's actually a big tube that you can see there, and there's a soffit at the top. There's a big tube that goes all the way up through the back of that. Now, what I suggested is that they tear this section of cabinets out and go ahead and cut this countertop. Take a granite blade on a grinder with a vacuum cleaner and go ahead and score this from like the corner here all the way back to the corner over there and break off this piece of the countertop so that they can keep their sink, keep their appliances in place, and just work on this corner. But take some 14-inch by 14-inch barnwood and actually make an enclosed column that goes down below the counter level. It doesn't have to go all the way to the floor, but down below the counter level, and then all the way up to the ceiling, and enclose that tube. And that will allow you then to have a cabinet on this wall that comes all the way to that column, another cabinet on this wall that comes all the way to the column. That'll look like a traditional corner then. Where those two cabinets meet would be a voided 14-inch by 14-inch area, and that would look really clean. Your countertop then would just be cutting a notch to go around it, and again, that would look very clean. It'd give you a lot more real estate here than the footprint that this thing's taken up. Now, center line of the sink is the center line of the pass-through. Dishwasher is directly to the right of it. Right now, the cabinets come all the way to the end of the doorway molding, okay? And you can see this panel right here has got a little piece of molding in there. It's just about 1 inch back for the countertop overhang. Give you another look over here at this edge. Now the island is not being changed at all. The island is staying. It's something they've recently built. So that's not going to be anything that we have to design in the kitchen. Come over here on this side. You got a set of switches here. This is 27 inches deep to the face of that molding. So 12-inch deep cabinets up above, 25-inch deep cabinets below, no problem. The switches would not be in the way. But we have a receptacle, and I give you a measurement to where that receptacle is. That needs to be in the middle of a cabinet, not on the edge of an M panel. So take that switch, lay it out in 2020, make sure that when you lay your cabinets across that you're inside of a cabinet with that switch, so that we can put that switch through the back of the cabinet, and then the customer can add like a grommet up on top of the countertop for the wires and stuff to go down through, or you can do that pull-up, you know, that has like the USB chargers and the plugs and stuff on it. It's called an island pull-up, I think is what it is, or island pop-up for this area to have access to that wiring. Because again, with logs, you just don't move plugs. I mean, they're there. That's where they're at. Same thing here, your ceiling height over here, 93.5 or so to the bottom of those beams. These can be 90-inch cabinets, no problem. Make sure on your molding, see this little bitty molding, this 1 1/8 inch molding here, make sure on any type of top molding that it stays small. You do not want to get in problem where you've got a bowed beam or something and your choice of molding is touching one of those beams. You want to stay small with your top molding. You can see right here, they've actually got a small molding. See that on the tops of these as well. Let me step back and give you a pan of the room. Starting over here, there's your window. There's that area that we're talking about for the cabinetry to the right of the pass-through door. There's your pass-through above your sink. There's the other side, your range. That's the hood area. Here's this big beam running across the center of the room. See that there? That's in the drawing. Those other cross beams are not in the drawing because they're consistent. And then over here on this side, there's your back door. That swing of that door is indicated at 3 feet. So we've got to make sure we have plenty of room from the edge of this cabinet to the corner of that refrigerator. You need at least 3 feet in there to be able to have the same 3-foot opening that door has to walk in your room. Do not challenge that corner right there by getting, you know, that thing's 34 inches deep. This is 25 inches deep. That corner angle between those two, you need to double check and make sure that it's not going to be too tight. If so, make these cabinets smaller. And then this is a return wall here on this side. And that return wall does not go all the way up. Okay, so if you're doing cabinets against the side of this, that cabinet will actually be up above. See that? It'll actually be up above. Go up here and show you. See there? And so that cabinet will need to be dressed down the left-hand side with a molding. It can still go up against the wall, but it needs to be dressed on all 3 sides. All right, if you have any questions about this kitchen, you can give me a call at 423-650-1051. As of now, do it yourself install. If you have any other questions, give me a call. Thank you.